Hello. Give me 1 second, everybody. Just trying to get myself situated. I hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know it was crazy around here. Good morning, Truth. First one. Hello, hello. Everybody, don't be shy. Come in and say hello. Hey, Samara. How are ya? Hey, Rep Ash. Good morning. So, I'm going to let some people pile in before I get started. But, hey, Jelly Toast. Can anybody get rid of that Carla Marie Tucker, please? Thank you. Hey, Puss in Boots. How are you? Pop Trauma, good morning. Great to see everybody. So, I'm going to do this live with me talking first because I feel like my words are being scrambled, and I think a lot of people are not are taking my words wrong and taking my words not what I mean. And I think because people are up on panel with me and people are giving their opinions and I'm giving my opinions, it's all getting kind of like scrambled, and they're putting somebody else's opinion and my opinion together. So I thought, good morning, Mary Carey. So I thought that I would go live by myself first. And then if anybody wanted to come up and add to it or speak how they're feeling, by all means. But I just feel like everybody knows that I see stuff, but I don't see everything. I'm not much of a chatter other than in my life. I usually come into people's lives and I say hi, and then I just listen. I don't run around in comment sections. And right now, my life has been crazy. Um, a lot of changes are going on in my real life right now, and I'm just trying to make do. So I haven't caught everything. Do I have friends and we talk and people fill me in on stuff? Absolutely. That's just everybody. Everybody gets talking and they're like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, no. I'll be like, well, what happened? And they'll, oh, this happened and that happened. But I didn't see it. But I do see some things. So last night I was thinking because a lot of people had an issue with what I was talking about on my last stream about going real life, right? How nobody's going to convince me that going real life is okay. Um, it's just not. I just don't think it's okay. I don't think there's a need for it. I think it puts people at risk. And I mean, some things get called on that are totally out and not needed and tear a family into stress mode. I mean, I don't know if everybody saw Mandy's live last night, but that was disheartening to hear. And that was disheartening to see that now her daughter has to go through this. Her husband and her have to go through this because somebody decided they wanted to call, which sucks. So my heart goes out to them. But I know when I was talking about the tenants and how I felt that, that's going real life. A lot of people, some people agreed, some people didn't. A lot of people, what's up, Rep Ash? No, she's not. She was hidden. Why is the chat not moving? Probably because everybody's listening instead of typing this morning. It's Monday. Everybody's slow going. Everybody's slow going. All because of YouTube. Yes, all because of YouTube. But I don't want to get off track. So I'm not going to look at chat much for right now till I get it out. And then after I will. Because if I watch chat, I'm going to get distracted on what I wanted to say. So a lot of people were like, Molly and Tiffany did it because they felt like they needed to let them know they were in danger. Okay, I'm not saying, would I do it? No. But if they did it, that's their choice. I just feel like why my title is the way it is. Let's try to look at it this way. Why can't we do it this way instead? Why can't we look at Diane's thing as an investigation? We're a true crime community, right? Think of it as a case like Chris Watts or Kelsey Barrett, all these high profile cases that we all dig into, right? Well, we dig in and we only get certain things because the investigation team keeps stuff close to their chest until they have all the facts in the row and they're ready to prosecute, right? So, how come maybe so all this crap will stop in our community? What if we take it as our community's crime, right? That this is a crime against our community and people want to say, well, I'm not saying it's connected. I'm just saying these are cases and people were really into these cases. And everybody is really into this Diane scam, right? I mean, come on. You talk about Diane, you get 1,900. Everybody is curious about this Diane stuff. They want to know, did she scam? Did she not scam? Right? So let's look at it like a case. So, why can't we have people that want to investigate? Because we're not going to stop them, right? If they want to dig into Diane's life, we can't stop them. But us saying real life we shouldn't do, and them sitting over there saying real life we should do, we're not getting anywhere, right? Everybody's just fighting over, is real life okay? Is real life not okay, right? So why don't we put it this way? We have the investigation team. So the investigation team, in my eyes, in my opinion, would be Molly Golightly, Tiffany Marie, Corey, shooting the shit, maybe a little bit of Laura, but have them be the investigation team. Because my whole point of them calling, they thought that I was saying them calling them was completely wrong. That's not what I was saying. I'm saying if you felt like they were in danger and you needed to call them, then do it. But why, after you call them, do you have to go live and spew it all out? Because in my eyes, that is putting those people in danger yet again. Because now you're explaining everything they said on the phone, what they said, what they didn't say, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets everybody in this community into a frenzy. Then people get upset because they feel like, you're putting them in danger, blah, blah, blah. So, my whole point was that, not that they called, they could call. Nobody can stop them from calling. Would I call? No, but they decided to call. I know there's discrepancies where people feel like they're only in danger because certain people are digging into Diane's and that's what's putting them in danger. They feel differently. We're never going to convince either side that which one is more right and which one's more wrong. We're just not. Everybody has their opinion either way, and that's the way it stays. So, what if we as a community take it like a crime? So, the investigations, meaning Tiffany, Molly, Sarah Smiles, everybody that's digging in, You guys stay together, make a Discord, take notes, put down things, keep it to yourself. Like you could have came on and said, I contacted these tenants because I felt they were in danger and we let them know and they're aware and left it at that. Okay? I just feel like you saying everything they said, I think doesn't help the situation. So right now, we don't know what St. Jude's going to do, right? Nobody's heard. We don't know if St. Jude is going to say that she absolutely scammed our community and took our money. St. Jude hasn't said that she hasn't done anything wrong. So why can't you investigate and look at us like the news, right? Look at all of us that are in your chat listening as the news or and when you're investigating as an investigator, you don't want to tell the news everything. You don't want to jeopardize the case. So maybe things would calm down because, like I said, we're not going to stop them. Nobody. Nobody's going to stop them from doing what they feel in their heart is right, even if we don't feel in our heart it's right. But why don't you investigate? Start a Discord with your investigation team. Put all your info in there. Everything that you think will show Diane is not Diane or show that Diane is Diane, but the reason why Diane is hiding is because this isn't her first scam. Whatever your thought process is on looking into Diane. And then once St. Jude comes out, because obviously we're going to know. We're going to know what St. Jude is going to do with this case. So if St. Jude comes out and says, okay, she did scam them, scam you guys, and we're going forth, then we could do like a, you know, where you could go online and actually do A, B, C, and D. Because some things that are being put out because you're looking so quickly and you're jumping the gun, there are innocent peoples being shown. There are innocent addresses being shown because you're investigating, but you're investigating with everybody watching. So I think if you keep it and get all your ducks in a row and know that everything you're going to put out is 100% and nobody can debunk it, then you go live with all your info and you make a great live and you put everything in a row and you put it in like that. And then all this chaos would stop. Because, like I said, I just feel like I just think it's all I get they have their heart in the right place. I'll give them that. I think, but at the same time, I think there's a piece of them that is kind of like, hey, I got this info. Let's go live right now. Let's go live right now and say it all. And like I said, we're a true crime community. So look at it as this is the big case in the true crime community. Because then maybe it will stop all this constant Diane stuff. People aren't getting hurt because even the people that believe Diane are getting hurt, even the people that have donated in their heart, you know, they're no longer friends with Diane are getting hurt. People with opinions are getting hurt. People are getting hurt everywhere. So if we pull it together where all this stuff ain't just pouring out every day, maybe it can get this community to calm down a little. Just calm down a little. Because now there's other stuff going on in this community that isn't just necessarily all Diane. And those things are getting swept under the rug too. And that's what people are getting upset about. It's all about Diane, 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 and all this other stuff. people find important too, but they're being told that's not important right now. Well, you can't say what's important to somebody and what's not. And what I mean by that, hey, Summary, good morning. Hey, full on hypocrisy. Um, what I mean by that is like, I think what happened to Mandy isn't connected to Diane. I think the stuff that happened to um, Bombshell, I don't think is connected for the whole Diane thing. It, Jenna is explaining what happened the other day since it was taken wrong. Yes, I'm just because what I'm trying to say, and I might not be saying it right because it's first thing in the morning, and I'm really trying to say it in a way that I can, um, is that people thought that I was saying that Molly and Tiffany calling these tenants was completely wrong. I I can't say whether it was wrong or right. I don't know the information that Tiffany knows and Molly knows. Maybe they really felt like these people were in danger and they wanted to do the right thing by giving them heads up. But people were taking that I was saying it was wrong. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is wrong is firing up a live afterwards and telling everybody that all the conversation that happened, every bit of detail about these people. Well, if you want to keep these people safe and you don't want to put these people in danger, then why would you go live and tell every single detail that they have said? Because I think that would put them in danger. That's my opinion. So that's why I'm trying to say, why don't we treat it like a case instead? Because you're not going to stop Molly and Tiffany and all these people that want to know who Diane is and what she's been up to. Is this her first scam? Is it not her first scam? Is Diane Diane? We're not going to stop them. But I'm trying to reach out to them and say, why don't you do it like a case instead? Because we are the true crime community. Do your research, do your stuff behind the scenes that you're doing, but only after you know what St. Jude's going to do. Then come out with everything and be like, okay, St. Jude said this. And while we were waiting for St. Jude, we found out this. And here we go. Here's the live. We're going to break it all down to you. Diane is Diane. Diane is not Diane. Because when you're reaching out to everybody and you're sitting on your panel and you're telling everybody how to look something up, or, oh, hey, I found this and this is how you get there, and blah, 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 right? That's putting other people that might not have their best interest at heart, you're showing them a way to stalk these people. You're showing them a way to get into these people's private life. Do you get what I'm saying? And I just feel like you shouldn't show everybody because there are people out here that are not going to do what you're doing. It's not going to be for good intentions. And I don't want to fight or argue with the either side either. I I never donated. I have my opinion on Diane and that's my opinion and I keep that to myself. And do I want to know if she's scamming? Yep, I do. Do I want to know if she has scammed for a long time? I do. Do I want to know if Diane's really Diane? I do. But I want it done safely. That's what I want. I want the people that are saying their heart is in this because they care so much for the kids. They care about this community. They care about the people that were involved. And I really believe that's how they feel. But I think the way they're doing it is not helping. It's making this community to be dangerous. Thank you, Mary Carey. It's just an idea. Like I said, everybody's going to do what they want to do, and they can do it however they want to do it. But I'm just trying to think of a way that everybody could settle down for a minute, take a breath, because there is false stuff being put out there. There is real stuff being put out there, but there's also false stuff. And it's all being thrown together, and it's becoming disastrous, to be honest. So that's all I've been trying to say this whole time, because I'm not on a side. I can see both sides. I really can. I can see both sides. Not saying one side is better than the other. I'm not. Not saying one person's opinion isn't better than the other. I'm not. But what I do want to see is it done safely. And I know that's kind of hard to do on YouTube, but I think if we all come together and just wait and let them do whatever they're going to do, let them. But then come to us when you have it all figured out, instead of coming to us when you're just finding this piece or that piece. It seems like every time there's a new piece, people just go live. Both sides, because there's always been talk of a side full on hypocrisy. There's, I don't know, before it was the mean girls and the boomers. Then it was the good side and the bad side. Then I mean, they've named it all the time. I've never gotten involved in all that side thing. I like people from everywhere. Some people I could do without, but some people I can see both sides. And that's why. Why make it a side? I would like to know, full on hypocrisy. What why make it sides? I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't think it should be sides, but somehow it always ends up being a side. I do. I see Diane's side. Do I think 900 and something people should be looking up Diane? No, I don't. I absolutely don't. But we're not going to stop them either, right? If somebody wants to sit behind their computer and look somebody up, they're going to do it whether we say to do it or not, right? So that's why I'm trying to say, why can't we do it? But I see Molly Golightly and Tiffany's side too. That if Diane would have came out right from jump and did what everybody wanted her to do, would we be here right now? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't be here right now. But because Diane is being hard headed and stubborn and whatever, and putting her heels down, we've gotten here. But I just see every day it's arguing, and people are feeling uneasy, and people's lives are being digged into. Are we going to stop it? No. So that's why I'm saying, what if we switch it into a case? Pull it into a case. You guys are obviously onto something, you know? The people that are really trying to figure this out, they're onto something. But don't give the news, us, every information every time. Wait until you have it all of it. You every little bit, and then do a live and break it down to us where we understand it and there is no doubt whatsoever what you're saying is right. And then we can make our decision. Because that's the other thing. I think because so much shit is coming at us, everybody don't know where to go. They don't know what to think. They don't know what's right, what's wrong. And it's because all this crap keeps flying in. And then you hear, "Oh, this is right." And then 2 days later you find out, "Oh, that wasn't right." But it was already put out there. So that's all I'm saying is if you want to investigate or investigator, but do it differently. That's all I'm saying. Because other people, because of this, are now getting their life looked at, because people are thinking it's okay to do it. So because it's okay to do it, I'm gonna, I don't like this person, so I'm gonna do this to this person. And oh, I don't like this person, so I'm gonna do this to this person because everybody thinks it's okay to do this, right? I think that's what everybody was trying to say for the people that say going real life isn't okay. And I still will not change my mind on that. But if you're going to do it where everybody is safe. That's all I'm saying. That's it. If you're going to dig, then dig. But make sure when you come out, you know without a shadow of a doubt, with 100% that you are right before you come out with it. Don't sit on your live and break it down and say, hey, go to this site now, look at this site now, click on that, and then go here. When you don't even know, you might be onto something, but you're investigating it on a live. I think you should investigate it with your people you're investigating it with. I don't know. So I tried to explain that the best I could, and I hope that I did. Um, because like I said, I know that we're not going to stop people from looking her up. And, you know, but Diane can, and that's the one thing. Maybe Diane's pulling her stuff together and she's going to go live because everybody's like frustrated with her because she's not going live and she's not putting stuff up there. And she constantly sits there and says, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So is Diane, but I'm interested to see what she does show when she does. Am I saying I'm going to believe her? No. I have to wait and see what she puts out. That's all I'm saying. I would love to see what Molly and Tiffany can dig up. But I want to see it when you know for a certainty, without a shadow of a doubt, and you can break it down to me and let me see it in like a crime, in like a case. That's all I'm saying. If anybody wants to come up, you can receive Perry. That isn't possible though. This community has already made a mess of this whole thing. People on YouTube are not investigators and are going to get someone hurt. I agree with that, Receipt Fairy. That's why I'm saying I don't think real life is. But like I've been saying, are you going to stop them? No. Can I stop them? No. The main people that should be stopping them isn't even stopping them. And that's YouTube. I mean, in all of this mess, I have to say, I think YouTube needs to take some new courses on how to run their platform because I absolutely think that YouTube is somewhat of the blame for allowing some of this crap to go on, to be honest. Legally, if they want to press charges, that's up to St. Jude. Yes, we have to say St. Jude. Got it. We don't need any more proof. You're right, but some full on hypocrisy. I agree. My thought process is already made, but some want more proof. They really want to see it. MGL and TM have been pretty luckless this far. They need to leave it to the law enforcement. They're going to make harassment cases for themselves. South is the direction they are heading. Uh, this is probably going to get me in trouble, but I agree. but we're not going to stop them either, right? So that's why I'm trying to hopefully get them to think of it this way. You're passionate, I get it. Your heart's in it, I get it. You want to know, I get it. You feel like you owe this community for the people she's hurt, I got it. You feel like you owe the children of St. Jude, I get it. But do I think what they've done this far is a little reckless? I do. I do. Because every time they get something, they go live and they put it out there. So I do agree with that. So that's why I'm hoping that they can just pull back a little. If you're going to do it, just pull back a little and don't go live until you know. St. Jude was used as a lure to get people like me to give money. I agree, Lady Beekeeper. The fraud was on me in on hundreds here. I agree. We can only work with the system we have. And in this system, I support those investigating. And I agree with that. But can you at least agree with hold off on your info until you have it 100% correct? Hold on, like, let them investigate, okay? Right, even I'm not even saying 100%, but every time something happens, they go live. Can't I just feel like maybe hold it all together until you have everything down and you can say, "Okay, let's start from here and let's like a video, I guess. Start from here. Here's the start. This is how this went." Put it all as a puzzle piece instead of every day coming out and then people adding to it. And then it gets spun. And then it's this big roller coaster. And then it's a big mess and all of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they should stop. You're right. And you know what, Lady Beekeeper? I agree. But are we ever gonna stop them from supporting her? Can we really control that? No matter what you show, I feel like the people that are that are with Diane right now are gonna stay with Diane regardless. The only people they can help is you. The one for you because you feel like she stole from you. You feel that she frauded you. But trying to show people that are never going to see it that way, because if they haven't seen it this far, they're not going to. So why keep hammering to make them change their mind when they're not going to, no matter what you show? But they can show it for the people that want to know. But wait, that's all I'm saying is wait until you have everything. Because I feel like giving little bits and pieces is making this even a bigger mess because the people that don't think she frauded throw stuff in there and then it gets you guys agitated and then it gets them agitated. And that's all I'm trying to say. It is drama. I just, like I said, I see both sides. I do. But I feel like somebody's going to get hurt by doing this. But can we stop people? No. So just, I don't know. I think a lot of us want to know who else she has scammed and to expose her so she doesn't do this again. I agree, Katie. I get that. And I think they should. If that you guys are thinking that I'm saying don't show anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying wait until you have it all and then present it. That's all I'm saying. Because you're right. People want to know has she scammed others. People want to expose her. But doing it the way it's happening isn't working. It's just not. So I'm trying to think of another way. That's all. Can we wait until we have all the facts first? Thank you, Samara. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying stop their investigation. I'm not saying anything like that. If they're going to do it, do it. So, okay, Lady Beekeeper, let me ask you this. You feel like I said, I think that if they're going to investigate, they're going to. But do you think the way things are going right now, it's working? That's my question. Out of the way it's been going, do you think it's actually worked? Or could you see that maybe you and them could all investigate, get all your ducks in a row, and then present it? But do you think the way it's been going now and just giving little bits here and there, do you think it's working? Or do you think you're still in the same spot that you were in when it broke? Hey, your main girl. I truly think they went live with this because people like Dave have come out and spoke about particular addresses, saying houses being watched. We know. Absolutely. And that's fine. Like I said, I agree with why they did it because, they're being threatened that people are sitting out at their house, that I think Dave said he was going to blow up their house. That's pretty extreme. Okay. That's, I totally agree with them calling. I do. Because, I mean, come on, somebody's saying that somebody's watching their house that they have no idea. It's a little creepy. People saying that they're going to bomb their house is pretty scary. So I think they did the right thing. But then you go live, and why couldn't you say, okay, we contacted these people. They are well aware and they know what to do, and we feel better. Okay. And leave it at that. But instead, they do that, but then they go one step further by saying, but while we were on the phone with them, they said this and they said that and they said this and they said that. Aren't you giving that very person, Dave, more info to mess with these people by doing that? Do you get what you know? So why couldn't that part be left out? That's all I'm saying. That part of what that conversation was about, what they told that, leave that part out. Just say, community, we contacted them in community, they're safe. They know what to do, and leave it there. Jenna Moon, I understand what you were saying. Thank you, your main girl. I don't only because someone from YouTube contacted my family and it wasn't appreciated at all. No, it's not. I agree. People react differently. I agree, Beth. Who are we to tell anyone what to do or think? That's the problem around here. I agree. And I'm not telling them what to do or what to think. I'm sitting here saying, can we try this? Whether they do it or not is their choice. They could say, yeah, Jenna went live, she said this, and nope, we're not going to do that. I'm not telling them to do it. I'm just saying, can you take a minute and think and see what I'm saying and see if maybe you could see it that way and maybe change something a little? I agree, your main girl. I'm thankful they took the initiative to come forward and say it. Hopefully, now that poor family won't be in harm's way because of messy people. Yeah. Because that's where people are mishearing me. Because people are saying that I'm saying that it was wrong to call them. I'm not saying that. I'm People are saying that I think that they were wrong and they're doing it for drama. Not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. I think their heart was in the right place. I think they wanted to keep these people safe. I think they did the right thing by keeping them safe. It's that it's it's the the after effect of that. You know, why couldn't you just come live and say we talked to them, they're safe and we're good? Why did we need to know what they told you? Because now, if you think about it, some of the stuff they told you that you put on a live, people could take that and get them in trouble. And they're innocent. Do you get what I'm saying? They're innocent. But now, because certain things were said, somebody could, from this community, take it and go for them. I don't want to get in too much detail, but just think of the male, okay? The male that was spoke about. These are innocent people that are not on YouTube, nothing. But that part was mentioned. So now somebody could take that and make these people, these innocent people's lives, a little bit more messy. Hey, Smart.
Hey,
Even
I
though people are convinced they get it wrong, we have had over 200 people released from death row in the past 30 years. Oh, I lost it.
and
Uh,
a lot of mistakes, and that's just a very small part of the prison.
all right. So, what did you want to say, Samara?
I just wanted to answer something that Receipt Fairy keeps saying.
Okay.
Um, Hold on, I need to scroll up for it. It's not our place to find out Diane's personal life info or the donation stuff that is St. Jude and law enforcement. I agree with that. I don't think
Yeah.
people should be going real life or whatever, but I get that why people are doing it, and I think that keeping it behind the scenes would be better than bringing it out publicly. And I do think that Diane did lose a little bit of rights in regards to remaining anonymous after everything that happened.
So Truth wrote, but then Diane puts out, you have to find me first. Someone is going to take that challenge. Not saying it's right, but don't challenge strangers on YouTube. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This isn't a court of law, it's a court of public opinion. You're right. But that's why I'm saying it's not a court of law. But the way things are being handled, it's getting messy. And all I'm trying to do is to, just as much as they're saying they're trying to protect the community and protect innocent people, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I just think that things are getting messy and we just need to reel it in a little. I'm not saying stop what you're doing. I just am saying take that minute and think and say, does this need to be brought out and do a live right now? Or can I
I
hold
hear
on
you.
until I get all what I need to know first? That's all I'm trying to say.
I agree with you, Rosemary Smith.
When is it not messy around here? I agree, a slot lover, it is always a mess around here. But a mess on YouTube is one thing. A mess around with real life is a total different ball game in my eyes, and that's where it's going. It's going into people's
Okay,
lives.
Skyzy.
So I think you have to take it a little bit more safer. That's all I'm saying. You know, if you're gonna dig,
Um,
because we can't stop you, just make sure when you're doing it and when you're giving info, you're being careful about it. Because, like I said, we're not going to stop them. Things always get messy when people feel deceived with such a sensitive topic like St. Jude. Wish she'd shut it down. I wish too. I wish she would, because I think she needs to. Because we can't blame it all on Tiffany and Molly and all them for doing, that Diane's trying to say it's only
Um,
messy because of them. No, I don't agree with that. It's messy because you're being stubborn.
okay. The info that Dave gave out about the house in Florida was wrong. And the info that he gave out, he got from them. Oh, and can you answer
Hi,
Katie? She
Tracy.
had,
Morning.
Good morning.
good morning,
How are you?
Tracy.
I'm okay. How are you
Katie,
guys?
It takes a collective effort to get to the bottom of this because we are hearing nothing. Yeah. Diane has been
from
messy from the
Diane.
beginning, and because of her actions, she has created extreme chaos and fuckery. I agree, Pixie. I'm not saying Diane's innocent by any means, and I think Diane has definitely made this harder and more messier because she's digging her feet. I
Morning,
that
Heimdall.
Like, I'm trying to see it in both sides. Diane, if she would just talk, maybe, and show her stuff and actually speak instead of getting up there and being so defensive and worrying about all the negative comments instead of the ones where people really want answers, and she ignores them and says, "Oh, I can't talk about it right now." But she can watch every negative comment and address that, and then still feels like she shouldn't have to show anything. Absolutely, she has made this more of a mess than it needs to be. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying, at the
Hey,
other hand, if
Tracy.
you're going to dig into real life, you have to pick and choose what you put out on the internet. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be careful what you put out there. Go ahead, Tracy. What do you got to say?
Well, okay. In regards to the call at the tenant's home,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
first of all, it was discovered that that is not Diane's rental. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody getting on their panel saying Diane's always admitted that it's her rental. It's not her rental. But if I had some nutcase like Dave, and Dave, if you're going to come after anybody, make it me. This is not Samara. This is not Jenna. This is me. Saying that my home was going to be firebombed. Now, we all know Dave is full of shit, rarely follows through on anything he says. But what if it's not Dave? What if it's somebody listening to Dave? What if it's somebody that wants to impress Dave? So, I personally, and I can only speak for myself, would have wanted a phone call to say, hey, somehow or another, this address has gotten involved in some YouTube fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just watch your P's and Q's, blah, blah, blah. Should it have come out and just said, hey, Diane doesn't live there. Please leave that address alone. That's a family that knows nothing about nothing. Yes, it should have. Yes,
Yep.
it is Bob's rental. But
Yes.
according to Bob, he is happily married to someone else and has been for 7 years. So maybe we're getting the wrong Bob. I don't know. I personally wouldn't take the time or the energy to dig in to anyone's life.
I get that, Lady Beekeeper. I'm happy too on that. I think you're missing my point. She says, I'm sure verbally I could articulate my views better. But with the circumstances, I'm glad they warned the family. I am too. In that they told us Diane is a liar. Me too. I just feel I just feel like, Lady Beekeeper, I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have. They should have. But I think there's a step where they have to pull back and keep some stuff to, to themselves, because you can't sit there and say we're trying to protect them, but then give a lot of information that I don't think needed to be put out there.
No, Receipt Fairy, you're wrong. There's no reason for St. Jude to know where Diane lives. There's no reason. YouTube doesn't know where I live.
Nope.
The only thing YouTube has on me is my bank account, and that's so my AdSense can be deposited. So, does YouTube know who I am? Yes. That's why when all this started, I don't think Diane is Diane. I thought, guys, YouTube know who's Diane. YouTube knows who it is. There's a bank account associated to it. But no, YouTube does not know my address. They don't know what state I'm in. I didn't have to provide all of that in order to take care of AdSense. But then again, I don't really care where Diane lives. I don't care what she looks like. Uh, I totally agree with Remy. I mean, with Jenna and Samara when it comes down to, I don't agree with going real life.
Can we talk about Pink Boho's chick's
No,
comment
Receipt
here?
Fairy, because I still have my banking account in Florida.
She says, you all talk and say no one should give it life, but you guys are the ones that fire another live to talk about it. Go figure, think about it all. You all are giving it more real life. You guys are giving it more real life. Yeah, but the other side is still going live and putting their 2 cents in too. So I don't totally agree with that. And I don't go live all the time about it. I'm not always firing up another live. If I'm firing up another live, it's because I am trying to figure out where people aren't, it's not so messy right now. Everybody is hurt in this community. Community has gone into the toilet. Like it's just, I'm just trying to find a better solution to get everybody what they want. You know, Diane needs to speak. Diane needs to give her side. Um, Other people need to give theirs, but I just think there's a better way of doing it because the way it's going, it's not working. That's all I'm saying. It's just not.
And I agree full on hypocrisy. Stop looking her up. There's no need to.
I agree with
She
that.
lied. We know she lied.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think one of her very best friends would get on a panel and say she's not been honest. I know that person has been hurt. I know a lot of people have been hurt. Uh,
But you're never going to convince these people to stop looking her up. And that's where I'm at. Like, do I agree with looking her up? No. Do I agree digging into her life? No. But all these other people that feel like they have every right. And we're not going to convince them otherwise. We have tried. They don't see it that way. So, what can we do to make it? We're not going to stop them, but can we make it a little bit more safer than a live after live giving out false info, some real info, parts of info, teaching people how to look somebody up? Can we stop all that? That's what I'm saying. Because no matter what, these people feel like they have every right to do that. And we're not going to convince them otherwise.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this all falls on Diane's shoulders.
It does.
Do I personally think St. Jude's going to do anything? No, I don't. St. Jude would have to go to a prosecutor, and the prosecutor would have to make the determination whether it's worth bringing charges. I personally don't feel like that's going to happen. So, what are you left with? You're left with Diane taking money and not putting it where she said she was going to put it. That's what we're left with. I don't think anything's going to come of it legally. I really don't. Uh, that's just my personal opinion. I don't care where she lives, what she looks like, who she's married to, what kind of dog she has. Uh, what does that add to the case? Even if you can call this a case. My biggest problem with what has gone on is Diane has deceived an entire community. An entire community. She has hurt people that absolutely adored her.
Okay, hold on. Lady Beekeeper, I never said Molly and Tiffany didn't only put out accurate information. There's other, I'm not, see, every time I speak, everybody thinks I'm always talking about Tiffany and Molly, and I'm not. They're in it, Diane's in it, there's other people in it that are putting out false information, and I'm sure you guys know who I am. So when I'm saying false information, you know who I'm talking about. Like what Samara just said. Dave put up an address, or was it you that said it? Put up an address that was wrong. I don't remember which one said it. That's what I mean. But I also feel that Tiffany and Molly should wait on certain things. That's all I'm saying. Wait. In I don't.
Well, Lady Beekeeper says, Tracy, while Diane decided she wants to come back and run her channel like nothing happened. Okay, well, the only organization or whatever that can stop that from happening would be YouTube.
It would be YouTube. We can't stop that. Do we think I mean, some people are going to think it's absolutely wrong that she is.
Tara Kiss, you have no proof that Diane scammed. So you don't believe Diane's best friend. You don't believe the people that was closest to her that sat in a Discord, a private call where Diane admitted that not all of the proceeds went to St. Jude.
Right.
So you choose to believe Diane.
She definitely scammed. There's no question.
So Tara chooses to believe Diane over all of the people that really cared about Diane and who has been hurt by Diane, which is Tara's right to do.
Right.
I mean, that's her right to do.
Absolutely.
If you look at it the way Tara's looking at it,
she does. Maybe she's looking at it like,
okay, if you're going to look into addresses and have no proof. Okay, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody on YouTube saying that your home is going to be firebombed and it's not, okay, number one, that's insanity. I don't care. I don't care if Diane killed somebody. I would never go on YouTube and claim I was going to firebomb her home.
Right. I agree.
But when you have people on YouTube that are saying that and they're talking about the wrong home, then maybe the people, I personally would have appreciated that phone call.
But would you have appreciated? Okay. But Tracy, you would have appreciated that phone call. But would you have appreciated after that phone call that somebody went live and discussed what you guys talked about?
I mean, I don't think the live had to happen, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm talking about.
But just like everything else on here, we can't tell people what to go live, what to say. If we could, there'd never be any disruption in YouTube.
Right.
But proof is necessary for Dave saying that I will ask his lady love candy. Well, okay. And he probably still has the live up because Dave doesn't really care what he says.
Because that's all I'm saying. I like you just said, would I have appreciated that call? I would have. I'm not saying Molly and Tiffany are wrong for making that phone call. I just think that the after effect of that phone call could have been a little different. That's all I'm saying. And that's my opinion. And all I'm trying to do is, like Tracy said, are we going to stop people from saying what they want and how they want? No, I'm not. But if I can maybe give a little bit of input that might make somebody think of something a little differently, then okay. Do they have to take what I'm saying? No. But let me see what you said. Hold on. Go ahead.
How do you know that Diane didn't contact the blah blah police department beforehand? I don't know that.
Nope.
Absolutely, I do not know that. I don't. uh, I believe Diane's closest friends. I can't help it. I believe the people that were on that call when Diane admitted that she kept some of the money, other parts of the money went to the channel, some went to St. Jude. I believe Diane's friends. I can't help it. I don't know why they would lie on somebody that they care about. And that's when I decided that, okay, I can speak out on
Oh,
this.
I can't. I can't. I can't. So, yeah, Lady Beekeeper, I would love for you to come up on panel because you're taking what we're saying and totally not twisting it, not getting. Oh, come on. Without information coming out, Diane would continue to keep support. It's that sort of proof that led Randy to second guessing Diane too. She would not FaceTime her best friend in private. I
Oh,
oh, I
okay, but here's the thing. When does it stop from being about
can't.
when does it stop from being about St. Jude into
Right.
just revenge?
Yes.
Where
Thank you,
where is
Tracy.
where is that line drawn? Where,
Because it seems like you don't want her to have supporters. That's what I got from that is if the proof wasn't out there, she's gonna have some supporters regardless, no matter what you guys bring out. So when does that revenge and St. Jude come in? Because it seems like you want her just gone. And a lot of people might feel that way, but the only people that have control over that is YouTube, not us. No matter what you put out, it doesn't matter. Look at the hell of the time that Laura had, and Laura still had supporters. Tucker still has supporters. I mean, really. Not saying Tucker should, but he does. Not saying Diane should, but she does.
and she will.
And
And,
she will.
and there's nothing you can do about that except not support her if that's what you
Right.
choose to do.
Right.
You know,
You
there
can
was
only
there was
mhm.
things leading up to this that kind of bothered me because there was a Discord call, and I know this, where I was going to be tried to made the division of the community, and nothing could be further from the truth. I know this happened. Wouldn't be the first time that there's been something.
But hold on. Her lying to her best friend. Why does that involve any of us? Cuz Lady Beekeeper says it's not revenge, Tracy. Seriously? Are you serious? She's lying even to her best friend. I say you guys just let her back a scammer. I don't get you guys. Don't do you see what she did? Yes. I'm
Betty
not
Beekeeper,
saying let her back.
I don't know why you get
I don't get it.
so up in arms
I know.
when basically it's okay, Diane's a scammer. What do you want to happen?
Am
What
I
is
gonna support Diane? No. Am I gonna watch Diane? No. Do I think she's scammed? I do.
I mean,
But
would people feel better if it came across YouTube that Diane had a nervous breakdown or um
yeah,
that Diane self-harmed herself or somebody hurt Diane? Would people
right.
really feel better about that? Would that change the fact that money didn't go to St. Jude? I don't think so.
I don't either. I don't either. And
So,
that's the part that I don't get. I don't get what you guys are after. What what are you trying to I just don't get it because there's people that are kicked off YouTube all the time and they turn around and make another video, another channel. So I think instead of coming around here saying you don't want Diane anymore, maybe contact YouTube and see what YouTube can do. I don't know.
okay, you want to prevent her from committing another scam, but how do you do that? You don't have control over Diane, Lady Beekeeper.
Right.
None
None
of us
of us
do.
do. None
Wait,
of us.
can we just move on to other people in here, because there's a lot of people who have opinions and all, and I know Lady Beekeeper is kind of
She has a very
Yeah,
strong
we will.
opinion.
she
Right.
does, but
She
I know
does.
other people, like, their comments are flying by and they have a lot to say.
And I
Yeah,
know people want the
we will.
truth. I know people want the truth. But the only way they're going to get the full truth is if Diane comes out and says it. That's the only way. So you can't make her. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't make her come out and say,
There's Pink. Pink says, let Diane do what she does. The only fools will keep following her. We all know what Diane is and will not ever return to her channel. Scammers will always find a way to scam. I agree. I agree.
she is stringing people along. And I think that's why she's losing the people closest to her.
Thanks, Summer.
But again, I mean, it's up to Diane to put out this fire. She has
Yes.
chosen not to.
And that's the other thing is her friends aren't really speaking. They're just saying that they're pulling away, but they're not really saying why they're pulling away. I think
No,
people are
Wendy admitted in her first live, in the first live that Wendy
right that
did, that Diane admitted in a private call that
right.
some of the money didn't go to St. Jude, some of it went here, some of it went
But
there,
then there was another
and
live.
that she'll prove it.
Right, but then
We're
there was
going on
another live where
5
she
weeks.
felt, but then then Wendy went live again and basically took that upon herself to a point because she felt like it was her fault because she never asked those questions. She just kept telling everybody it went to St. Jude. So it's like they kind of give her responsibility, but then they're still trying to protect her at the same time. And I think
Tara,
that's confusing to people. Right?
Tara, I understand that words won't hold up in court. I get that. That's why I said I don't think anything is going to go anywhere with this. I don't think St. Jude's going to do anything. That would mean St. Jude um, would. No, it's not one person, Tara. Trust me.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that have spoke out that really cared about Diane. Go watch Shannon.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people. Yeah. Pop Trauma says that's my main issue. She took money given to her for donations. I am more interested in did she do this before with proof, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to know if Diane was in another community
Hmm.
or involved in another situation.
I agree with
No,
you.
no, no. Go in real life is not okay. You'll never hear me
No.
say that, Tara.
No. Nope.
I said if
Nope.
I was the family that was being threatened, I would appreciate a phone call. That's all I said.
You'll-
I don't care what Diane looks like. I don't care where Diane lives. I don't care if she has a dog. Um, I
Do
don't
I
care.
want her scamming? No. But at the same, I just know I won't support her. But do I need to know what she looks like? Do I need to
I
know
have a
where she lives?
I have a comment to read by Pink
Go
really
ahead.
quick. Her friends will not speak up because they are waiting, like she is, for St. Jude's to exonerate her, to throw it in the sub's face to say, "See, I am right and I was not at fault," to gaslight her subs as usual.
And do you see her friends becoming her friends again? Because right now her friends have pulled away. Can we add to that? I'm just curious what your thought is on that. Do you think they're pulling away until they get answers? And then if they get answers that exonerates her, are they going to be friends again? Or are they just not happy all the I don't know.
And Pixie says, mind you, the hate, dragging, and bashing all started with Diane. And there's a lot of people
Mm,
that were drugged and bashed and probably looked into on
mhm.
Diane's channel. So I understand that there's a lot of people that's just angry with her. And
This is a good one. Summer Reed says Diane will never lose the stigma of a scammer. She will never be the queen again. If nothing else, remember that. And it must be her worst nightmare giving her ego. That's I
Tara Kiss, I don't know if you're referring to the panel or if you're talking to somebody in the chat. I think I just made it really, really clear that I personally don't want any physical harm to come to Diane.
yeah. Mm-mm.
I don't want any physical harm to come to anybody on
Nope.
this platform. Innocent people have been getting doxxed forever, Ash. You know
Right.
this.
And okay, what was her name, Tara? Yeah, we agree that real life shouldn't happen, but can we stop them from doing it? Can you stop them from doing it? No. We can.
Rosemary Smith said, Diane stole from this community and won't be honest. What do people expect in a community full of true crime sleuths? People
I
are going
agree.
to dig for the truth. They will go real life, and it's not illegal.
Mm-hmm. And all I'm saying is they're going to do that. And she's absolutely right. But I just think that it should just be done differently. I don't know. I just think the way it's being done isn't working. It's
I
becoming
mean,
messy.
Tara, can you at least admit that Diane could have put a stop to this? Can you at least admit that?
She definitely could have. What did.
And it's not Diane doing the dangerous acts. It's terrifying, actually. Lorraine, I agree with you. It's not Diane doing, but what Diane did has obviously uprooted an entire community when they thought their money was going to children sick with cancer. So Diane could have come
Right.
forward
Yep.
and said, okay,
Right from the
guys,
beginning.
I'm going to
You
nip
too,
this in the bud. And she
She
could
could
have.
have told us what she told Wendy. Like Lisa says, if she would have came on in the beginning of all of this and told that she spent the money on other stuff, this wouldn't have even have gotten as this bad. I totally agree. Why couldn't she tell this community what she told Wendy? Why did Wendy have to come live and tell us that?
And
So
I
I
think
agree.
this is a very forgiving community.
Yep.
And I believe if Diane would have just stepped up to the plate after talking to her friends first, um, just stepped up to the plate and showed some humility, showed some humbleness, and said, "All right, guys, this is what happened." I believe all of this would be. I mean, you're still going to have your people that are just not going to let up on it, and there's nothing you can do about those people, you know. But I believe that is she going to lose support? Of course she is, but she could have put all of these fires out by just coming forward
right.
and not put her friends. Those are the people, and I know her friends, and there's a lot of them that I really like, and
Yeah,
I hate that they're being hurt like this.
I do too. I do too.
And Catherine says that Diane and only Diane has made this worse for herself. Just saying.
And I agree with that. And like I said, I'm not saying Molly and Tiffany and all of them are wrong for what they're doing. I'm not saying that. I just, the only one to blame here is Diane. That's it. The only one is Diane to blame.
And
But,
Pixie says, and look, I'm one of those people who are very hurt and upset over what Diane has done. Shoot, I used to run around here calling Diane my moral authority of YouTube. So
mhm,
it even reaches as far as Pixie, and we're talking somebody that didn't talk to Diane on a daily basis, as in Randy or Wendy or some of her mods, or I'm even going to go so far as to say Amanda Lynn and Ash 274 and Hello Starlight. They're all very close to Diane.
Yep.
And I get that, Lorraine. I understand that her friends feel the same, that she could have come out and put a stop to this, and I believe she would have been forgiven. I really do.
Uh,
Not trusted. I'm not saying she would have ever been trusted. I'm not saying she could have ever fundraised for another organization.
right.
I'm just saying that I believe people would have moved forward by now.
I
And
to read Moxie Dewdrop. It will never be okay what Diane did. Her channel is canceled. It's never okay to steal in the name of sick children.
And
that's true.
nobody is disagreeing with that. Nobody. And the only person to blame here around here is Diane. You guys are absolutely right. And never take that away. We're saying that this all got worse because Diane refused to speak. Diane is the one that scammed. Diane is the one that lied to people that cared about her. She has hurt friends. She has hurt this community. I'm not taking that away from her. All I'm trying to say is if you're going to investigate, which we're not going to stop people from doing that, just be a little careful, is all I'm saying. Pick and choose what you think is safe to come out and what's not.
No,
Make sure you have absolute 100% proof before you even mention it. There's some that will put out lies no matter what. I'm not going to say his name, but he'll put up lies just for the fun of it.
And in the big scheme of things, who cares who Diane, who cares?
I'm with you on that, but
You
some
know,
people care. Some people
exactly.
want it, but I am one of those with you, Tracy. I don't care what Diane is, who Diane is. I
I
don't care.
personally am never going to spend my time looking up anybody on
Mhm.
YouTube unless I feel they are a danger to me or my family.
Mhm. Totally
Then
agree.
then I would look them up. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I feel like somebody is coming for me and they're a total stranger, then I would look them up. I got to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Right.
If it was boots on neck, um I would look them up. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that.
No.
Would I go so far as to call, police and all
Would
that?
you do a live about it?
Not unless I absolutely knew everything I needed to know about this person. But yeah, I probably would. I would probably warn
Right.
people.
You
I
would, but you would once you knew everything, right? That's all I'm trying to say. That's it. Right there. Exactly. How you worded that is perfect. You would have went live, but you wouldn't have went live until you knew all the facts you needed to. That's all I'm saying. Wait. Get all your facts together first. That's it.
And like I said, somebody said the white knighting for Diane is pathetic.
it is.
Uh,
Mhm.
thank
Why
you, Lorraine.
who did something like this and they're not even out here to explain their side?
I mean, Randy kind of said it right last night.
I don't
When she
listen.
said, I can't continue. I know. I can't continue. You don't even have to finish that sentence, Samara. You don't even have to finish that sentence. But me, I'm nosy. I watch all the live streams. I want to hear everybody's opinion. I want to hear what everybody's saying.
There's only one person I don't watch. But go ahead.
But, you can't continue to fight for somebody who won't fight for you, who won't fight for themselves.
Mhm.
And I totally agree with that.
I agree with that.
You know,
Because they're the ones being made a fool while she sits in the background.
I agree,
She puts
Kelly.
she puts them out there, and they were doing it because they believed in her,
Hey
you
Bailey.
know?
Kelly says
So,
just being reasonable about this does not equate to white knighting. I agree. I
exact.
I
I
agree.
agree with that, Kelly. Mhm.
I'm just saying
There
that
Hey,
are
Bailey.
they're the white knighters. There
there
is
are some white knighters out there, some diehard white knighters, but even they are getting to the point that wait a minute,
And
you
I
know,
think that's where beekeeper's coming from, I think. Because that's what she said right before I think she decided to pull away for a minute. I haven't seen her type in a while. So I think that's her point, because she's like, now, but because we're letting this out, people are walking away from her. Like you just said, okay, these white knighters are starting to look. And I'm not
Okay,
saying stop doing it, but when
Lorraine
it
says,
comes,
I'm going to fight about going real life to death. Okay, I totally agree with that, Lorraine. But we have people in this community that have gone real life, that are accepted,
mm-hmm,
that have
Oh.
been forgiven,
mm-hmm,
that have been just basically swept under the rug.
mm-hmm,
And I'm sorry, FOD
yep,
is one of them.
thought is definitely
Oh, I
one
have a
of them.
question too. What all the people who were doxxed, with all this sleuthing that's going on, and there were, videos were made, were those people called to let them know what was going on, like the tenants were? Did they get a heads up of what's going on?
That's a good question, Tamara. I mean, when it comes to going real life, we've had people call the cops. We've had, people call CPS. I think it's all garbage.
It is. Nobody's ever going to convince me or justify going real life. Nobody. I will always stay the exact same on that. I don't agree with it. I don't see the point in it. But I also know there's other people that no matter what I say is not going to stop that. They're still going to do it. They think they can do it. They have every right to do it. I feel differently, and I will always feel that way.
Okay, and how can Diane and them justify having like people who went real life as mods for her channel?
True.
Hmm. But they deny that they've ever gone real life. If you think about it, they always sit on their panel and deny that they've ever gone real life. Just like when Wendy had them on their panel, sitting there saying, "I don't allow people in my lives that have gone real life or have doxed people," but yet there's two people on her panel that have, but they say they've never doxed. They say they've never
And
gone real life.
and
Well,
those people have been
but
forgiven,
they did.
and it is what it is. It's one of those things that, okay, I can coexist with you, but I'm never going to trust you. I'm
Right.
but let's not pretend like the only people that's going real life on here is uh uh Marissa and Tiffany Marie. Let's
Mhm.
not act like that.
Because I mean,
Right.
okay, a lot of people justify digging into real life differently. Some think, going real life means, doing Ben verified, looking up names and addresses. Some people think even public information is considered going real life. So everybody has different opinions on that too.
I
So
mean,
we could
Fod
feel like
Fod had a
somebody
phone
has.
call.
Mhm,
Fod had a phone call coming to her home. I didn't agree with that. No matter how I feel about Fod, I did not agree with that.
yeah. Mhm.
Hey, Sergeant Blackrock.
Okay, Lorraine, I get
We
what you're
got it, Lorraine.
saying there. But by the same token, and I hate to even bring up her name because every time I do, she messages me and says, why the hell are you bringing me up? But I'm not even going to bring up her name because I don't feel
Yeah.
like getting the
No,
messages.
no,
But other
I wouldn't.
people have gone real life,
Hey, Tom.
and thank you, Slots Lover. But and been been given chance after
Flat
been
slower comes in with the wind.
yeah, and been given, and they said they've changed, they don't do it anymore. That's cool. That's
Hmm.
cool. You know, I don't know. I guess I look at it as if, we can't just say, okay, these people have gone real life, so we've got to stop them while other people have gone real life and been accepted in the community.
All right, teacher's mom wrote, I just wish if this was about the kids, we would focus on how to help them instead of looking into and contacting innocent people.
And people are teachers, Mom. Believe it
They
or
are.
not, I'm in a Discord where it's been set up where donations are being made privately to St. Jude with receipts being shown.
Full transparency. Mhm.
Yes.
Uh, you know, people say that what Laura is doing is scamming. No, because in reality, Laura never promised. And please understand, guys, I am not a Laura fan, but Laura didn't tell a whole community, hey, I'm going to make candles and I'm going to donate X amount of dollars to here or there, you know. And yes, we can go back to all Laura's indiscrepancies, but what good is it going to do? She's been doxxed, you know, she's had CPS called twice. Do I agree with any of that? No.
Nope, I don't.
Just because it's Laura.
And I'll speak for Irish Marie too. I don't think looking anybody up is okay. All I'm saying is there's people that do not feel the same way and are going to do it regardless.
Yep.
So my life was just to maybe because we're the true crime community and Diane has done a crime to our community, is there a way we can, instead of making it about hate or pointing fingers, this person did this person did that, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing that, pull it back, make it like a case. Do your research if you're going to do it, get it all together, and then present it, and then be done. That's it. Be done. And if people want to support her, people are going to support her. If you don't want to support her, don't. If people want to believe that even though you show proof she's a scammer and people want to still believe she's not a scammer, there's nothing you can do about that.
And
you don't want her on YouTube? Go to YouTube and deal with that. But
in reality, you have to look at this as if Diane went real life.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yes.
And I don't want this going for 20 months. I just don't.
She didn't call anybody's home that I know of. I've heard rumors, but I'm not going to believe them because I wasn't there to witness it.
Right.
But Diane did go real life. She misled hundreds of people, thousands of people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like going real life. No, she's not calling people's homes. She's not harassing people. You know, I've heard old drama communities say she did this or she did that.
Some people are saying she's harassing by emails, but
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
seeing that either.
What she did to Bluebell by asking her to take that video down because it didn't show her in a good light. Well, sorry, Diane. How many live streams have you done that didn't show people in a good light?
I totally agree with that. All I'm saying is I don't want to do this for a year. I don't want 2021 to be all about Diane. All I'm saying is get it all together, present it, let St. Jude do their thing, and then be done. You're not going to convince everybody in this community to not support Diane. It's never going to happen. No matter what you show, what you bring to the table, it's not going to matter.
And
all you can do is be responsible for you and know that you did everything you could to show that Diane was a scammer, and if people want to believe her, then that's it.
And I said from the get-go, it's not going to change my opinion about anyone who continues to support Diane. Just like it doesn't change my opinion about anyone who supports people that I don't care for. You know, I don't like FOD. I don't think I've ever made a secret of that. And I don't think FOD has ever made a secret of the fact that she doesn't like me. But there's a lot of people that go into her chat that I really, really like.
That's wonderful.
And I don't judge them outside of her chat. You know, so there's going to be people that are going to continue to support Diane. You're not going to change this.
Mm-hmm.
So
to
me, unless Diane comes forward, and I don't feel like she's going to. I feel like she's dangling a carrot. She's hoping all of this just goes away and, everything goes back to normal where she has her channel. But from this moment on, if Diane's channel goes back to what it was, which was basically dragging people, and hey, that's drama from what I'm told. If that's what it's going to be, then she has to be prepared for these people to come back at her and come back hard. So maybe she has plans for her channel that's going to be totally different. I don't know.
I know I won't be watching.
No.
I definitely won't. I'm with you guys that I want nothing to do, but I just don't want this. I mean, we went through this already once before where a whole year was about one certain person constantly. I don't want to do it again.
Hi, Rollers.
You know,
Good
it
morning.
just
My thing is, I can move forward.
Mhm.
I can
I
move
can too.
forward. There's enough going on in my real life that
Lorraine.
YouTube is not going to hold me hostage. So
I'd like you to elaborate on what that's supposed to mean, where you say, I hope everyone has started saving all their pennies to buy their own kids their Christmas presents next year.
who said that?
Who said that?
Lorraine.
Okay, now Lorraine, let me
Why would you
explain
say
something.
that?
Okay,
Right.
because these Christmas presents always get brought up. Okay.
I'm so tired of that.
Now, let me say something, Lorraine, and I don't have any problems with you, but the community bought those Christmas
Right.
presents,
It wasn't
not
Diane.
Diane.
Nope.
Thank you.
So the fact that those Christmas presents get drug up, those wish lists get drug up.
All the time.
Because there was a lot of creators that were involved in that. Yeah. Did Diane start it? Yeah. But everybody else, this community took it off.
But she
It's
also
because of this
started the donating to St. Jude.
Right. And now look at all this community that are donating to St. Jude. Just like you just said, you're in a Discord now that, where they have receipts, but they're donating to Discord. To St. Jude. That doesn't mean nobody should donate to St. Jude because Diane started it. Just like the wish list. Christmas comes and a channel wants to do it again. We should be able to.
Lorraine, I just don't think those Christmas wish lists should be held over people's heads.
No.
I don't either.
Especially since it wasn't Diane sitting there cutting a check for
Right.
everybody's wish list. That was a
Exactly.
community effort. Yes, Diane orchestrated it, but in reality, the majority of the work done on those wish lists was, and Diane admitted this, was done by people other than herself.
Correct.
So the money came from the community. I know I donated.
I did too.
I donated. I did. I did too. Yep. And
let's not
my
pretend
channel,
like Diane just took every one of those lists and wrote a check for everything on them. I refuse to allow that too.
No.
If that's really the issue, that Diane organized it, who's going to organize it next year? You mean this coming Christmas?
We'll figure it out when Christmas comes.
That's a simple thing to figure out.
Somebody will step up to the plate, I'm sure. There's going to be somebody that the community's going to feel comfortable with taking over. Christmas is a long ways away. A lot of things change on YouTube daily. So if we don't do it, we don't do it. If we do, we do. But I think that the wish list, yes, there's been a couple of issues, but I think it actually went really well. There's been a couple things that have been brought up about the wish list, but I think overall, I think this community did a wonderful thing for these wish lists. I don't know why people think it's horrible.
And here's the thing. The minute those wish lists started getting thrown in people's faces, it set me off.
Yep.
Because if I bought my neighbor's Christmas and then all of a sudden me and my neighbor had a falling out, I wouldn't go to my neighbor and say, you just remember next Christmas who's going to be there for you.
Right.
I don't live my life like that.
Mm-mm.
So these Christmas lists have been thrown in several. I'm not even watching chat. My phone's in my pocket. These Christmas lists have been thrown in several people's faces, and I don't like it. They have
No.
nothing to do with the issue at hand.
But
Diane did
lady,
not sit and cut a check
right.
for every one of those wish lists.
And as far as like
Lorraine,
anonymous,
are you shaming people because they reached out for help by saying I buy my own kids their presents?
I'm glad Lorraine is in the position that she can do that. I'm glad that, but there are some people that's been hit really, really hard. I mean, look at the catastrophe that's going on in Texas right now. Life just hands us lemons sometimes.
right? And you're great, and I'm glad you can buy your kids presents. I'm glad that you have family that can buy your kids presents, but you can't judge somebody else's life. You can't. And if
I mean,
people feel comfortable coming to this community for help, you shouldn't shame them
Uh,
for it.
I'm sorry. That was really
Yeah,
messed up to
it
say.
is really messed up. You shouldn't shame them for it.
Right.
I'm broke as a
This
joke,
this is
Mhm.
but
what
my
happens
son is
out.
also 34 years old. So I didn't
Right.
feel the need
Me,
to come on
right.
YouTube and
Mhm.
say, I need help. I thought it was all about the kids.
Right.
When I think of those wish lists, I think of children. I don't
Mhm.
think of adults,
That still
you
believe
know.
in Santa Claus and stuff like that, right? And
And
teenagers.
teenagers, yeah.
Right. Mhm. But I don't agree with Lorraine's comment on I buy I'm great.
No.
You should feel very grateful that you can. But not everybody's life is like that, and especially next year could be different. This year there was a pandemic going on. People were losing their jobs.
Right.
People were losing their homes. Like I think this was the first time we did these Christmas lists that I know of, and the only reason why was because of this pandemic.
Because I read your
Next year,
comment.
I'm sure they won't need
I,
to.
I read your comment, Lorraine, and that's exactly what it sounded like you were doing when you said that to One and Done. I could read it again. One and Done. Why don't you do it? I buy my own kids their presents. After One and Done told you that their list was thrown away.
And
I
and
and I
here's the thing about, yeah, it's great to be able to save money so
Was not
when Christmas comes around, you can
right,
be prepared, but sometimes there's nothing to save. Sometimes once you pay your bills, there's nothing left over.
right.
And that's
Yep,
everyday life. That doesn't
that
even
is
mean during a
a
pandemic,
pandemic. Yep, I live paycheck to paycheck. I know that much.
you know.
A lot of
Everybody,
people, a
there's
lot of
a
people do.
there's a lot of people in this country that is one paycheck away from being
Hmm.
homeless.
Yep.
I'm not arguing with you, Lorraine. I mean, let's move on.
Yeah. I mean, the Christmas list is
Agreed.
done and over with.
It was a
We
fantastic idea. I
idea.
think I think it went as well as could be expected for the first year.
I
Um,
agree.
I I hope the community doesn't get to the point that they're so bitter that they don't want to
Don't want to
give.
help. Right. They don't want to give their help anymore.
You know,
Hmm.
Not
I'm
after
I'm
this.
gonna jump down off of here. Like I said, all I've got to say about Diane is you probably are gonna be left with a personal choice, and that's gonna be support her or not. I don't believe anything legal is gonna come of it. I don't believe Diane's gonna be able to do anything legal to Tiffany and
No,
Marissa and
me either.
Brian and them.
Nope.
I don't believe lawyers are ready to jump on a YouTube bandwagon
Nope.
when it can be shown that on every side
Side. Mhm.
somebody has done something, dragged somebody, uh,
Yep.
so the legal ramifications I think are just out the window. Now
Yep.
it's down to moral.
Yep. It is.
I personally don't want to go to moral court, although I think I would get charged with a misdemeanor. But thank God there's not such a thing as a moral
Right.
court because
Yeah.
there's a lot of us that would be doing life in prison.
Yep.
So
That's for sure.
I'm going to jump down. I'm not
Well,
into
thank you,
looking.
Tracy.
I'm not into looking people up, but like I said, if I was that family and I was being threatened over YouTube bull crap,
Mm-hmm.
I would have wanted to be warned. That's just my personal opinion. I would have wanted to be warned, especially since I didn't know anything about what was going on.
Right.
But
Well,
I'm going to jump down. You guys enjoy your live, and I'll be in the chat.
all right. Thank you, Tracy, for coming up.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm not going to stay on much longer anyways,
I
because
do.
I've been on for a while and my house has been quiet for me, but they're about ready to just be like, we're not going to be quiet anymore. But go ahead, Samara.
No, I was just going to say that again, like I know the tenants, everybody's saying that yeah, that they would want the tenants to be warned, but again, all those other people who were doxxed, did anybody reach out to them and explain what was going on?
Yeah, I guess the only people that can answer that are the people that have had issues. I mean, but this is the thing. We could go round and round and round. That's why I don't think looking up people is okay. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's my opinion. But I also am not naive to know that no matter what I say, if they're going to look them up, they're going to look them up. That's all I'm trying to say is there a way we could do it where it's a little bit more safer. It's a little bit more that you know for a fact before you put it out there because I don't know. And I think that eventually we have to get to a place where people are going to support her. You've shown everything you're going to show. You have stated your opinion. Um, You've proven for the most part, everything you need to prove, and these people are still going to support her. So, where do we get to a point where we have to just say, okay, all right, people are going to support her. She's not going anywhere. Okay, we got to just back off. We did our part. We let them know. That's all we can do.
Receipt
It-
Fairy already is the wild, wild west at the moment, and it didn't have to go this far. If somebody that was being accused of something would have just come forward. And Lorraine, I read your comment about not wanting to argue, and you're not defending whatever it is she's done. It's just going too far, and I'm afraid
No,
it's going to be left to the community when this is all done.
and Lorraine, I feel for you because I think other people have taken what I've said and think that I was defending Diane. I'm just trying to see all sides. And I think there's a different way that there's not one side. I mean, Diane is the main person. The person that has done wrong in this community is definitely the one that's on the top of the cake, you know? But also, other sides haven't done everything correctly either. Like Tracy said, everybody, even if you wanted to bring it to court, it wouldn't go anywhere because you guys, certain people didn't do it right. That's all I'm saying. It's just, can we reel it in a little? Can we make it a little bit more safer? If everybody's worried about people's safety, then you have to realize when you're coming out here talking about real life, you're putting somebody at risk. And you say that you don't want Diane hurt, and you don't want Diane this, and you don't want Diane that. But at the same time, with putting her stuff out there, there's a risk of that.
I do want to address Receipt Fairy too when she said Pixie, a community member, donated that money, and she said as much before she gave them out. If you're talking about the cards, I never once heard that the gift card money was they were donated. After the fact, I do believe it was brought up, and Wendy was shushed on the matter. So no, I don't think anybody in the community knew that the cards were donated. I don't ever remember
I
Diane.
think Laura, if I remember correctly, I think Laura spoke on it way before Diane. Before, it wasn't after. I think that I don't watch her, but I did hear from people that Laura did say that it
Yeah,
was donated way not after,
yeah.
before.
After Christmas is when Laura said it.
I heard she mentioned it before that too.
Diane never mentioned it. That's the point, though.
Right. Diane never mentioned it, but supposedly Diane was told not to mention it.
Listen, where? Do you have, like, say where?
I think
If you
that Diane was told not to mention it. I think the person, not that, I guess the person that donated it didn't want it to be out there, so that's why
I don't
Diane
know, and it's
didn't.
irrelevant
But
anyway.
I don't even know. Right. It is irrelevant. Like I said, see, this is the crap. We just go round and round and round and round about now we're back. We just did the Christmas wish list. Now we're on to the freaking it's just never ending. You guys just stop.
My goodness.
I mean, just stop.
You're very argumentative. You're always arguing in chat.
But like I said, with that note, is there anything else you want to add, Samara? Anything?
No,
Diane did say so in a live before she was hushed
everybody is
about
wrong.
it.
We're just all wrong.
I don't know. I don't know.
See,
All
no,
I'm saying,
Wendy was told to hush about it. I remember.
yeah. Wendy
remember
was
that one.
told to hush. That was during a live, because Wendy went to talk about it and Diane cut her right off. I remember that too. Yes, there is a live where Diane says it first, and then Wendy mentions it 2 times. Go back and watch all the
Are you
lives
talking
from
about
that time.
after Christmas? Let's be honest, Joe. And
Right.
again,
We're saying before that, we're saying there what Samara's trying to say is before that it was never mentioned till after the pack.
until afterwards,
That's all she's saying.
because even Wendy didn't know.
I don't want to get into this gift card stuff. I really just don't. One and Done would like you to unblock her, Truth or him. I don't know if they're blocked, but they're asking to be unblocked. Samara, that is someone doxing me. Remove that account, please. Where?
Where?
Let's be honest, Joe. Is that the one? See, I'm bad at this. It's got to be that one. Because that's the only.
Okay, let's be honest, Joe.
I think that's who.
You can put it in the comment section underneath this live if you want to. I don't know where you meet. See what the good side does. Dox, troll, threatening. That's not a dox. How's that a dox?
Because of the picture, I think. I think it's the picture. But I could be wrong.
Is that it, Lady Beekeeper? She said, I'm thinking that's it. Hey,
I'm
Mary.
just waiting. Because if she says yes, then I'll kick them.
Then
But I just need to know.
Yeah.
If that's what it is.
And if that's the case, then
You're welcome, One and Done. Okay.
it is.
All right. That's what I thought. Hold on.
Oh,
I'll
messed
take
up.
care of it.
Yeah, you don't need to put the timestamp underneath the thing now. I don't think you can anyway.
They're gone.
Bye.
Bye. See ya. Thank you for letting me know, Lady Beekeeper. I don't do that, but that's the only thing I could think of. So, thank you for letting me know, but they're gone.
That's messed up.
Yeah, you don't use people's pictures. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys.
All right.
So, I don't know if Truth's going live. I don't know what the plan is for today. But like I said, I just want to address it. I wanted to address it. I hope it came out right. Probably not, because it never, everybody always has an opinion, which is fine. But all I'm saying is we got to get to a point. There's got to come to a point where this it stops. You're not going to take all her support away. It will never happen. And all I'm just saying is the real life stuff, you have to be a little bit more, you got to be a little bit more cautious. Just that's all I'm saying. Because I know I'm not going to stop you, but just be a little bit more cautious.
Yeah.
Think, is it, before you go live and talk about it, just think, is it something that this community really needs to know? Or is it something that I can just keep to myself and my friends? I don't know.
You're welcome.
So,
No
I hope everybody has a great day. And I'll be live soon, and I'll talk to you guys all then. As
Can we
the
do
day
true
goes on, more of her dirty deeds keep coming out as she sits back and watches this community totally fall apart. It's a complete chaos because of one person. It's sad. Totally agree.
Agree.
Agree. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you guys could hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, I like them both. And I would like for you guys to leave a comment in the comment section how you feel about all of this and what you think. Do you think we could be a little better, and how could we be a little better? Because maybe somebody will read the comment and they'll think.
That was Jojo.
Thank you guys all for being in here and supporting me. Samara, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, Samara.
I love it that she does that. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Stay out of trouble. Everybody stay healthy, stay happy, but most of all, stay you, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good
Au
day.
revoir.